know, asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
19 after 6 o'clock now. We're looking at the 1930s and the impact of the rebellions across the region on who we are as a society today. And the story is being told, it started in Belize and somehow it rippled all the way to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and so now it touched afterwards Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. I'll come to you, Trinidad, Omega, because there it is, Omega Cox. She is the People Resource Compliance Officer in the Ministry of Public Service, People Service, I would want to say. Yes. Welcome to Barbados, first of all.
Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about the fire that was triggered in Trinidad and Tobago and what did it cause?
Well, in Trinidad, you know, Trinidad is rich in oil and they would have had sugar back then. So at that point in time, which in the rebellion, before the rebellion, you would have had the oil industry was booming. They were making a lot. And to add to what the others were saying, the workers were not really benefiting from that effect of the wealth that was going on. So their conditions they had to live under were very deplorable, the living condition and also the working condition. So you find after having experienced that for over a period of time, being a Trinidadian, it is natural to just go at it, you know, and it had the result of the country being rich, having oil, not receiving benefits. It started, and it started in an area to be Pacific called Faizabad, which is in Trinidad, which is in Deep South. I went to school in Faizabad, and the area there was, people were skeptical in even going there to live or even going there to work, because at that area in Faizabad was where I would say Butler, the name Uriah Butler, he was the one working with the people at that time. So when the rioting started then, the authority thought it was Butler who instigated everything, so they went out looking for him. But he went under hiding. What happened then is that when the authority get there, they had this man named Charlie King. So they burned his body. Yes, they burned his body there in Faizabad. They thought it was Butler who body that they would have burned. So today in Faizabad, you have a junction called Charlie King Junction, and that junction is where you have the histories being rehearsed. In 1937, they have Labor Day. So every June 19, there's a big celebration to actually celebrate that. So the experience there at Faizabad has this Bajan, to use this term, Bajan area. So when I had to go to school there, you had to pass through the fields. There was a gate, you have to go through two police, one gate to enter and the other gate to exit. So that is the experience there. What I want to add, apart from the experience of what went on, my parents were part and parcel of those who migrated after that rebellion. So they were living in Karakou, which is simply, people will know it as Grenadians, right? So they were living there, and at that time, after the rebellion, they migrated to Trinidad. So that is where I found my identity as a person, having parents from there, living in Trinidad, and here I am, was married to a Bajan, living in Barbados. So that's why I could identify myself as a Caribbean woman.
Omega, I want to jump in there because the great labor leader of Trinidad, who was at the heart of their rebellion, Tubal Uriah Bus Butler, was a Grenadian
Yes.
who had migrated to Trinidad from Grenada. And then there's a link with Barbados, a man called Clement
Yes.
Osborne Payne, who was born in Trinidad to Barbadian parents, came to Barbados at the age of 4, grew up here, then went back to Trinidad at the age of 23, spent 10 years in Trinidad. And then his organization in Trinidad, after he spent 10 years there, developing into this great activist, the organization sent him back to Barbados to organize the working class in Barbados. And as we know, Payne was the catalyst in Barbados. It is when the authorities deported Payne, when they recognized this man was having a tremendous impact on working class people, organizing them, they decided to deport him back to Trinidad, and that is what sparked the rebellion. So we have these figures, these pan-Caribbean figures. So Clement Payne connects Barbados with Trinidad. Butler
with St. Vincent.
Elmer Francois,
Yeah, St.
who was
Vincent.
Elmer Francois is a very important name because she was a female leader of the rebellion in Trinidad. She was from St. Vincent.
Wow.
She migrated to Trinidad from St. Vincent. So to make the point that even in terms of the leading activists, it was pan-Caribbean, you know?
Yeah, and we must add as well, Ambassador, that Butler not only influenced those countries, but the entire region. In the entire region, Antigua, being a Grenadian, so that the early Eric Gary in St. Vincent,
In Grenada.
E.T. Joshua, Ebenezer
Joshua.
Theodore Joshua, and his wife, who was a Grenadian, Ivy Inez Joshua. All of these, they were linked. And this linkage preceded the 1930s rebellions. It goes as far back as the immediate post-World War I period. But the people like Arthur Cipriani, you know, from Trinidad and Tobago, called the Great Walking Man, and Theodore, Marichaud, Tia Marichaud in Grenada, and McIntosh, we mentioned McIntosh early in St. Vincent and Grenadines. But the fundamental point, Ambassador, is that the Caribbean at that time, or the West Indies, they saw themselves as one. And it is good that in 2025 that we are going to get back freedom movement.
Yes.
You are
between
in my
Barbados.
head, Cleve. And so you're quite right. It's so interesting how all of this circles back to who we are now. It started with you in Belize. Jamaica, how did it get there?
In Jamaica, I mean, I think David gave a great overview. I mean, it started just about 100 years earlier with the former enslaved basically living in the same conditions or similar conditions in 1930s that they did when coming out of slavery in 1838. And what we found is that there was a huge amount of social and economic unrest because of many reasons. I mean, there was huge levels of inequality. The plantocracy was still more or less there, but you had a large amount of former enslaved that were not having access to land or very little access to land. We didn't have franchise at the time, or in order to have the right to vote, you know, properly, people had to have, you know, a certain salary or, you know, had to own a certain amount of land. And in addition to that, they weren't receiving livable wages. And the level of wages that they received were also just, you know, it was deplorable working conditions all around. And, you know, because of all of this, you had a lot of figures coming in. We had influence from the rest of the Caribbean. We even heard news in Jamaica of rebellions happening across the region, like in Trinidad. You know, we had figures like Alexander Bustamante that had traveled across Panama. He was in Cuba. I think he may have also visited Trinidad at some point and come back and brought all of this to Jamaica and made the point that all of these rebellions, all of these conditions are not only in Jamaica but are also spread across the region, and that is one of the things that contributed to not just the 1930 rebellion which started in Frome in Jamaica, but also many smaller strikes that would have seen across the 1930s. And much of it had to do with the fact that there were workers that were dissatisfied with, poor wages, just general poor living conditions, limited access even to education for children. It was only if you had, access. You only had access if you had a certain amount of wealth, for example. And we saw that it was many of these smaller strikes through, the 1935, 1937 to 38 that led to the eventual decision, by the British government to finally listen to the plight of the British West Indies. But what is remarkable is that some of these symptoms that we're seeing, playing out in the 1930s are also coming across today. Discussions about, looking at cheaper labor. One of the conditions that, we were discussing in Jamaica was how, because of the unrest, because there were so many persons that are complaining about the poor wages, there were plantations or, factories or ports that were looking to import labor from other parishes, even looking to import labor from other countries. And that's a discussion that's happening in Jamaica today. There are some manufacturers recently that have been looking at options like importing labor from Haiti, I think was cheaper labor from Haiti and other countries. So, it's interesting to just do that comparison between some of the causes of the rebellions then to characteristics that we're seeing today.
But let me just set her up. By the way, folks, you just heard there from Stephanie Sewell, who work with the United Nations, right? Wow, but you program policy officer as well from Jamaica. And so the story, Ambassador, you were saying.
No, I was saying that puts me in mind of Gabby's song about, riots in the land.
Yes.
When he outlines what happened in the 1930s, but his final verse is about the present. And he said, the reason I tell you this story is to give you a warning, that if we permit similar conditions to take root in today's society, we might end up like with these kinds of rebellions, So, and I guess that is one of the reasons why it is so important that we commemorate these events, because it reminds us, of what happened, and it says to us, be conscious. All of that suffering, all of that struggle has to mean something. And we have to, so it is sending an annual message to us that we must do honor to those efforts, to all that suffering, to all of that striving by our ancestors, by creating the kind of society of justice and democracy and fairness and social equality, societies that nurture human beings. Because that's what those rebellions were all about. Out of those rebellions came the birth of our political parties, the birth of our trade unions. It was those rebellions that gave rise to new developments in education, the new secondary schools, the labor departments, etc., created what is best about our society today. So that's why every year, on the 26th of July, and in Trinidad, the 19th of June.
19th of June.
June, and St. Vincent is in October.
21st of October.
We have these days of national significance.
Lest we forget.
Yeah, lest we forget.
Indeed.
Lest
But
we forget.
that energy also translated to other endeavors within the region as well. Sports is one, because we saw then the rise of the West Indies team and how we used sports to leverage ourselves. We didn't have to only fight, we used our brain, we used our brawn, and we created quite an image in the world.
Well,
and I know, go ahead.
Well, it's so important that you mentioned sport, because Professor Sahirli Beckles would tell you that CLR James insisted the best way to demonstrate that we are ready for black leadership is through cricket. And the first cricket captain, full-time, that was a black man, was Ambassador?
A Barbadian.
Of course, the great Sir Frank Worrell.
Yes.
I think I see where you guys are going, because I see the poster before you, Pearson, where we're going to be doing this book launch. So Hillary has written this biography of the great Sir Frank Worrell, cricket's first revolutionary, which really makes the point that the game of cricket is not just about what happens on the field. It has connections with politics, with political developments, with the whole development of the decolonization movement in the Caribbean, our sense of nationalism. Yeah, we can't divorce the political, the Clement Paynes and the Butlers and and the Bustamantes, etc., from the exploits of our people in the sphere of cricket, because there was a connection between, and the great game of West Indian cricket helped us to feel proud about ourselves and to develop a sense of West Indian nationhood.
Even the music.
Yeah,
even in our music.
We have carnivals and crop over.
So
all
true.
part of Caribbean culture. And we have Kai Fest coming up too.
Coming up as well.
Yeah.
And so this book launched, Cleve, is when? Tomorrow?
It's tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Roy Marshall Teaching Complex on the UWI Keyville campus. And the ambassador will be doing, I don't know what you call it, an overview of the book.
Well, I've been given the task to be the featured speaker at the book launch, and so I've been spending the last few days reading the book, and it's a real revelation. I thought I knew Frank Worrell, but I've learned so much more about this great, not Barbadian, this great West Indian, because Jamaica claims him just as much as Barbados does. Trinidad, I mean, he worked, I mean, you know.
Well, Ambassador, I'll tell you something, which you didn't know, that I am a Frank Worrell scholar.
Wow.
My PhD is in honor, or was in honor, of Sir Frank Worrell from the University of the West Indies.
No, I invite everybody to come because I'm glad that Hillary wrote the book. I'm glad that I read it. It has, you know, opened up this new vista, this new way of looking at the development of our society. And we're gonna, it's gonna be a good event tomorrow. We're gonna discuss this great Barbadian and Caribbean man who transcended sports and became a symbol of our West Indian nationhood.
Indeed. The book is called Cricket's First Revolutionary, Frank Worrell's Political War Against Colonialism in the West Indies. And so it's being launched tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock at the UWI, and then thereafter it's available for all of us to consume. But there's another book that tells a story compiled by you,
yes,
Ambassador, the story of Clement Payne. And so as Saturday approaches, and we are all invited to come down to Freedom Square, you know, to be a part of the celebration, a real pan-Caribbean celebration. These faces and voices you've heard this morning will also be there, along with others.
Along with Prime Minister Mia Motley. You know, she will do in a sense, the feature remarks, representing Barbados, but also representing CARICOM. So it's going to be a real regional celebration, and it is going to end as soon as this ceremony ends. This ceremony will go from 6 to just after 7. Then we will have the National Folk Concert.
Oh, sweet.
So, so you have multiple reasons to come, and yes, you're gonna people who come, you're gonna hear all of these voices that we've heard this morning on this beautiful. Truly Caribbean community conversation. They will all be there, and we're going to celebrate our people and our common history.
This is not to be missed. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. This is truly not to be missed on Saturday, beginning at 6 o'clock in Golden Square Freedom Park is where we're all headed for the day of national significance, a day that we should not ever forget. And this book, how can one access it?
Well, you know...
Call you again?
Yes. I put this together when we opened Golden Square Freedom Park back in 2021. So this was my contribution.
Right.
There tends to be, I'm not sure if they still have copies at the Freedom Park, but yes, I think I probably have to do a reprint because the whole idea is that people who go to Golden Square Freedom Park, there should always be copies available that folk can get copies. And we need to get it into the schools. I mean, Yes. Anyhow,
Yeah,
you're saying to me I have to do a serious reprint.
There we go.
And make them available.
You get it.
Trinidad and Barbados.
I'll just share with Trinidad and Barbados as well. You know, my godson is heading into secondary school. I said to him, one of the things that you'll be doing, yo man, is Caribbean history. And so this, thank you, Cleve. So this morning, I'm really hopeful that he's up already watching. This morning, we had a wonderful example of what students can engage in when they do Caribbean study. We get to learn about ourselves. We get to learn our history, but we get to begin to position ourselves and our understanding for our future. And so, Ambassador, I'm eternally grateful to you. And to each of you for lending to the discussion this morning. I think it has been rich. I've learned so much. I have now a greater appreciation and understanding for the rebellion. Not that I didn't know, but to see that wave across the Caribbean and to see how we've all changed, but how we've all come right back to who we are together as a people is one of the significant takeaways for me. And to all of you, I say thanks. Indeed.
Thank you.
Our pleasure, Pearson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We gather as one, united Caribbean. We join hands in one big cultural explosion. The heartbeat of the drum, our rhythm in the sun. With pride and passion, time for celebration. Let's show the world boundless creativity. Let's show the world the beauty of our artistry. Let's show our roots, Caribbean roots. Roots, Caribbean roots. Let's show our roots, Caribbean roots. Roots, Caribbean roots. Cari Festa. Cari Festa. Barbados. Cari Festa.
And that's the energy of CariFesta 15 in 2025, coming up very, very, very soon. And as a matter of fact, fashion is a part of that energy. I'm so happy to see her yet again. Candy Nichols, who is the fashion coordinator for CariFesta 15. Candy, good morning.
Morning.
Beautiful
morning.
Barbados.
Woo!
Long time no see.
Very long time, yes.
Well,
for sure.
I think a lot of people are equally excited about seeing you as they are about what you'll be talking about this morning, which is fashion.
Correct.
And there's a casting call coming up.
There's a casting call this Friday. We're casting for all the fashion shows. So it's this Friday at Queen's Park in the Steel Shed from 11 till 5. I'm encouraging anyone, all types, to come down. If you've never modeled before, but you think you have the walk, if you're a granddaughter, your aunt, your uncle, your nephew, your neighbor, you know, you think they are qualified, they look like a model, you know, I encourage them to come down to the casting. We do have a height requirement for this casting, 5'7" to 5'11" for females, and 5'10" to 6'3" for males. We are also looking for curve models, of course, all ethnicities, everybody, just come on out. No age limit, just come on out.
It's really a chance for these models to really walk the runway wearing some of the best from the Caribbean.
Some of the best,
the
for
real,
sure.
real best
Yes,
from the Caribbean.
yes.
So is it that you're looking also for the professionals only, or you're looking for anyone who sees themselves seeing this opportunity?
No, it's not just professionals. It's anybody who really wants to come and give it a try. I mean, I have people emailing me all the time. Is there an age limit? No, there isn't. You know, the only thing is for this, a height limit.
Height limit.
Yeah.
So that excludes my godchildren.
Correct.
Because they're a little short.
Yes.
not the 5'10" and 5'11".
I was going to do 5'10" for females, but because we are in the region and I want to include everybody, I went down to 5'7", because, you know, with me and my background being in the model industry, we are like 5'9" and up for females.
Would they be required to come dressed in a particular way or anything like that?
What I would say is that I would not wear baggy clothing. I'm not saying skin tight either, just form fitting. Heels for females, of course. And that's it, really, just nothing loose. Yeah.
Come show your personality as you strut.
Correct.
Because that adds a difference.
Personality is very important. Yeah, you have to have confidence. You know, if you don't have confidence in front of me walking, then you're definitely not gonna have confidence with 100 people watching you.
So the casting call is this coming Friday.
Correct.
This
Friday the 25th.
At Queen's Park.
Queen's Park, Steel Shed, 11 till 5.
Do I just show up?
Just show up. You don't have to register, just show up. Yes.
Men and women.
Correct.
Men 5'10" up.
Yes.
Ladies 5'7" and up.
And up. 5'7" to 5'10".
And good. So you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Let's talk a little bit about what you see as part of the fashion component for CariFesta. How do you envision it?
So for me, one of the important things for CariFesta was, most times I think when people think of fashion, they just think specifically about design. For me, it was important to bring around like a round vision of fashion. So I have, with my workshops, yes, of course, there is a design workshop with some top fashion designers. Unfortunately, I can't say right now who they are. I have also a workshop for models. It's called the Casting Call. And so I have top agents from Next Model Management, from Wilhelmina, from a company called Ask a Model Agent. I have a model coming for that, a Bajan model. I have a top photographer from a TV show coming. Kind of work it out. He's English. So we have that, and that, you know, is something where we're encouraging models who really are serious. You know, that's like a 5'9" girl to come down to that workshop and just listen and find out how to get into the business, because a lot of times here in Barbados we don't know. So people think you have to pay money to see an agency. You don't. So just come into that and just learning about the whole industry. Maybe you might get scouted. I have a workshop called Careers in Business, and that is just learning about different things in the business, in the fashion industry. So whether it's working in a magazine or whether it's working in finance for fashion. I also have a workshop. Sorry, everything is like running through my mind, all the things. I have a workshop. I have the design. I have the casting call. I have voices in fashion. And I have one more. I have a sustainability workshop, which is on Sustainability Day, which is the 23rd of August. That workshop will be in the Grand Market, but then in the morning I have the fashion shows in the Grand Market, and then that morning I have a fashion show at Copa.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
The workshops, where are they and when are they?
So the workshops are during the day. Most times I would say they're about 3 to 5 in the afternoon, and they are at the Central Carafesta Hub.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is during Carafesta itself?
This is during Carafesta itself.
Okay,
so the fashion shows are mostly in the evening from 6 to 7. We do have 2 shows which are not those times. Everything will be posted on a schedule. I encourage people to come out to the opening fashion show, which is the day Carafesta launches, and that is actually on Broad Street.
Nice.
Yes, on Broad Street. So it will be kind of in front of Cave Shepherd, that stretch. So I encourage people to come out and just stand on the side and, you know, cheer it on. We're going to have really great designers for the opening.
Fashion among the people.
I love it.
So do I. Indeed.
Yeah.
So that's happening.
No, it's going to be really good.
Candy's one example of what fashion can look like. Oftentimes, we think that, I think, and most people would think that fashion is just a match of the colors,
No.
and that's all. It's more than that.
It's more than that. You have to bring out your personality. I think you're either born with style or you're not, right? So you can learn, but I think it's something in you. And people always, as you said, they like to match every single thing. I try not to match, right? So I mean, I almost wore green shoes today, but I just didn't feel like. But, you know, I don't like to be everything not black and white. You know, if you're wearing black and white, then give a pop of color with your shoes or your accessories. But I think with fashion, you can really do a lot of things and say who you are without actually speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
Say who you are without actually speaking.
Yeah.
Well said, Sandy.
Candy.
And so, remember, folks, the model call is this Friday from 11 in the morning in the Queen's Park Steel Shed. Gentlemen, you must be 5'10" and up. Ladies, 5'9" and up. Take a look at your screen, and pay attention to it. Indeed, 5'7"
to 5'9" for
almost
ladies.
There. Almost there. Almost there. But look at your screen.
I'm definitely not there.
And you get the details right there. And so bring yourself.
Yes.
Bring you. And show them what you can do. You're getting a chance to walk wearing some of the very best designs of the region, coming from across the region.
Coming from across the region. We have designers from obviously Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Kitts. I have one from Panama. I have 2 from Cuba, sorry. I have, you know, St. Vincent, British Virgin Islands, USA, Canada. Everybody.
Wow.
Everybody registered for fashion.
How important do you see it for us to understand when we see the fashion in terms of the look of the Caribbean, the feel of the creatives of the Caribbean?
I think it's very important. Obviously, not everybody has that aesthetic. There's some who are obviously like the Caribbean, very bright. You know, they like the African prints. They do a lot of that, a lot of flowy stuff. But then there are those who are more almost streetwear. You know, there's actually a great streetwear designer, Killer Pieces, Carla Gittin. She's very, very good. it's a mix. So yes, you'll look at it and be like, oh, that's Caribbean, but you might look at it and be like, is it really?
Yes.
Is that really from the Caribbean? Because we have this designer, I'll say her name, Faye Noel. She is, I mean, people know her across the region. She's from Grenada. Unfortunately, she's not showing a collection, but she is part of the designer workshop. So you'll learn about her experience, how she got from Grenada to where she is now, you know, but it's all sorts of fashion, everything. I'm so excited because they're accessory designers, shoe designers, everything. So with Grenada, like they're bringing a collective, and so each look will be earrings, bags, clothing from Grenada. Yeah, so it's very exciting. Jamaica's doing the same thing. Yeah.
And this is all every night for Carifesta?
Every night for Carifesta. There are 2 shows during the day, as I said. Those are mixed shows. On August the 30th is Barbados Day, so that night it's just going to be strictly Barbadian designers on the runway, and I'm actually really looking forward to that, to show the public and the world what we have here in Barbados. Yeah.
And this is in the Carifesta Village?
This is in the Carifesta Village.
All right, we'll tell you where that is coming up for, so don't panic. Don't panic.
The only show that's not in the village, as I said, is the one on Bridgetown.
Yeah, Judy Free. Right in front of Bridgetown, Judy Free. And what date is that?
That is August 22nd.
On the 22nd?
Yes.
From what time to what time?
From 1 till 2.
Oh, 1 hour in town.
An hour in town with like 40 models just going down the runway in our beautiful Barbados, just showing the world like what we have in the region, because that will be a mixed fashion show. Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, of course, Barbados.
And there's so much we have to show the world, because all of these creatives are coming, and these fashion designers are coming from across the region, our region.
Yes.
Who we
and
are.
Beyond.
And beyond
and
as
beyond,
well.
Yes.
But who we are is what we will see.
Correct.
We will see it in its vibrancy, in its shapes, in its colors, its everything about who we are. Indeed, you will see the fabrics that we use, the way we mix it up sometimes.
And what's exciting is the sustainability fashion show, where we see different ways how people sustain fashion. So it might be in upcycling, it might be in their fabric, it might be in their dyeing process. So stuff like that. There's a guy from Panama, Love from Upcycling. I would have met him at Miami Swim Week. And I just had him in the back of my brain for years. And then, you know, this opportunity came about, and I reached out to him. I'm like, would you come to Barbados and show your collection? He does like tablecloth, so he mixes into fabrics. He cuts jeans and he does that. And I've actually had quite a few designers who are sustainable in the region. So that was very impressive to know that we are moving ahead with, you know, fashion is one of the biggest pollutants of the world, right? That fast fashion, the Shein, all of that. People buy and they wear it once, they photograph themselves. And I've been guilty of that myself, right? You know, I'll wear something, I'll photograph, and then I'm like, all right, I'm not wearing that again. My thing is, I pass it on to someone, you know, I don't dump it. But, you know, that's really important, so people know how you can, you know, save the planet in fashion.
Indeed. Accessories will be on show. Accessories will be available. Shoes, bags, hats, jewelry, everything from the region. Will be showcasing every time.
And I encourage people also to go to the Grand Market, because the Grand Market will have, there are some designers who won't be on the runway, but they will be in the Grand Market. So if you miss it on the runway, you know, go to the Grand Market. There are other things that you will see that you won't necessarily see on the runway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So a great place to shop.
Correct.
A wonderful place to shop in the Grand Market for Carifesta. But again, I'm going to remind you folks, the casting call is Friday. The casting call happens in the Queen's Park Steel Shed on Friday. The casting call for models of all sizes and shapes, because you're looking for the curvy and colors as well. Everyone.
Everybody. I encourage everybody.
And females.
Males and females. If your neighbor, you're like, you know, I can always see them as a model. Let them know about the casting. Maybe they're not watching this. Maybe they're not on social media. Let them know. I encourage everybody to come down. Yeah, for sure.
From 11 in the morning. Just
11 till 5. Just show up. Just show up, write your name down, come on in.
And sometimes we think that models are just about the face. It's not just about the face.
No, it's not just about the face. And in these times, you know, like before we would think models were just skinny, a size 2. And now, you know, you see curved models are some of the biggest paid models in the world. Yeah, for sure. They're on covers of magazines. They're doing it. I love it.
So the opportunities are real and very, very possible indeed. So come cast and see if you get in. But if you don't get in, don't give up.
No.
Don't give up, because there are opportunities for you to network while you're there as well with other people during Carifesta.
Correct.
Either you can become a photographer, what do you call it, a magazine model? What do you call it?
An editorial.
Thank you.
Editorial,
Thank you for the term. You don't necessarily have to walk, but you can be photographed.
Correct.
And you're appearing in publications.
Yes.
So all of that's possible, but you'll be rubbing shoulders with some of the best around the world.
Yes, and that's why I encourage people also to come to the workshop. I believe that's the 28th of August. I mean, everything, we're going to put a schedule, we'll put that out, but I believe that's the 28th, and I encourage people who are interested in modeling, you know, maybe they missed the casting and they couldn't do it because for the casting you have to be available for all of those dates. Maybe you're not available for those dates, but you still want to try it out, you still want to hear, come to the workshop. It's called the Casting Call. Come, they're going to be the top agents there from the world.
Folks, you're seeing this on your screen. You're seeing it on your screen. Take note, take note, take note. Don't miss this opportunity.
Screenshot.
Don't miss it.
Photograph the screen.
Yes.
Share it. Also follow the IG page, Carafesta. And I encourage people also to check on the website, carafesta.net, just to see what's happening in the festival. All the schedules be there for music, dance, theater, film.
Everything.
Yeah.
All of the energy of Carifesta,
Everything.
indeed. And so, again, the casting call for us, folks, is Friday, 11 o'clock, Queen's Park Steel Shed.
Yes.
Candy will be there. Just show up, come, not dressed in your baggies.
No.
Remind folks again.
Please do not come in baggy clothing. Wear something that we can see your body. It's not about the body, but it's just baggy clothes are very distracting when you're walking, and like necklaces, and you know, sometimes it's just too much. Just come to show yourself. Don't be flicking your hair and all of that. It's not about that. It's about you and how you are modeling the clothing. I always tell people, when you're modeling, it's not about you. It's about what you have on.
Yes.
And you have to always remember that. Some people get caught up, you know, like, oh, No, it's about what you have on, and just come and bring that energy on Friday, 11 till 5, Queen's Park, Steel Shed.
Well said. Thank you, Candy.
You're very welcome.
All right. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories, and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's take a look at the news now. Commercial banks appear unwilling to help grow the medicinal cannabis industry. Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority, Shanika Roberts-Odell, says lending institutions are refusing to engage with the industry. She highlighted the issue while addressing the media at the official launch and tour of Island Naturals, a new medicinal facility at Sheraton Mall.
We at the BMCLA, our back has been broad in order to be able to uplift what is a difficult industry to uplift. The banking institutions have consistently made their position known. They're not willing to engage. And while we respect their position, that cannot and should never stop progress in this country. In Barbados, as far as I'm aware, the credit unions bank with the banks, and therefore the banking policy is in some cases the credit union policy. We have had some interest from some credit unions in the initial phases. However, they have been advised that if the banks are not engaging, they cannot engage.
However, Roberts-Odell says the authority has settled several agreements with M-Money to help push the financial aspect of the industry.
And so what we have been able to do is come to some agreements with M-Money, which has been a fantastic partner. And we're hoping to really solidify that and make that option open to Barbadians. But the reality of the situation is, as my mother would always say, we don't have horse, ride cow. And my full intention of my staff, of my minister, and of this government is to continue on in any area that is to the benefit of Barbadians.
Meanwhile, General Practitioner with Island Naturals Medical Center and Pharmacy, Dr. Sheena Weeks, wants to see more availability of medicinal marijuana products locally. Dr. Weeks says while medicinal marijuana products are not first-line treatments for many illnesses, it is good to have additional products available to the Barbadian population.
We offer a range of medicinal marijuana products. We do not offer flower, so we do not offer straight marijuana as a product here. We use creams, oils, and vapes. In terms of risk of addiction, any medication has risks and benefits, but we tend to screen patients before they're prescribed. So we like to make sure that patients have a low risk of becoming addicted to begin with. And we tend to monitor our patients closely, and we will also review them routinely to make sure that they don't become dependent on the products.
Bridgetown is on the verge of major change with confirmation that at least $400 million will be spent on two major projects. Last year, it was announced that the Hyatt Ziva Hotel to be built on Bay Street was going ahead, plus condominiums would be constructed at Carlisle Bay. According to the chair of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industries Revitalization Committee, Eddie Abed, alongside these major projects, other businesses will help to change the face of the capital city within the next 5 years. He, with Brian Worrell, president of the Barbados Association of Masqueraders and Band Leaders, were on the People's Business to discuss cropover, culture and commerce.
Over the next 3 to 5 years, there is something like $400 million that's going to be spent in Bridgetown. Two of the major projects have already started. The Carlisle Bay redevelopment and the Hyatt, both of which have started, both of which will take 3 years to complete. We're talking about structures that will not only bring people to visit, but bring people to live. We're talking about structures where they will invite many Barbadian-type retailers to come in. One of them is talking about putting a mini museum. They want to have interactive stuff. So the type of attractions in the city will change and will attract more people.
The Barbados Regiment continues to produce more men and women who go on to be upstanding citizens. And those who were included in Intake 1 of 1975 continue to hold their own in different arenas across the island. This year, they celebrated 50 years of service with a series of events, one of which was a church service held at St. George Parish Church. Here's Rachel Agard with that story.
In 1975, about 200 young men made applications to join the Barbados Regiment. They have now all served their tenure, but they remain committed to the cause of military life. Canon Missionaire and Rector at the St. George Parish Church, Senator Dr. John Rogers, told the former soldiers that their lone mission should continue to be that of the safety of the people and the love of country.
So I implore us all, especially you, the group of recruitment group intake 175, 1975, as you celebrate your 50 years. We give thanks to God for your service, for offering yourself for the defense and protection of our nation. And I know that many a time the question would have been before you, why am I doing this? Why am I really doing this? Especially when you see you pour yourself out for a community to protect it, and then you see the lawlessness that takes place in the community. You ask yourself, well, why? Why am I doing this?
Reverend Rogers said though they no longer bear arms, their tour of service is not complete.
As long as there is breath, there is work to be done. And so wherever you are, whatever your circle of influence, remember that you still have to be the light of that presence in our community, upholding that which is right and condemning that which is wrong. Because one of the things that this question brings out, and this particular passage brings out, as it asks us, why do you do the good that you do? Is that we have to ask ourselves on a national level at this point in time, as we see our young people, particularly our young men, terrorizing our communities. We have to ask ourselves about our responses to these things.
Rolling back the tides, former warrant officer Class 2 Ricardo Harrison recalled a number of experiences and how they shaped the lives of those in Intake 175.
We have remained steadfast friends, even though some of us have sought their fortunes in faraway lands. But of note, we have all made a positive contribution to modern day society.
Presentations were made to the Reverend Rogers and the oldest member of the former soldiers, George Jordan, who recently celebrated his 90th birthday. A donation was also made to the church. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
To sports now, Barbados will face off with the USA's Under-19 first team in Thursday's final of the West Indies Rising Stars Men's Under-19 Championship. Needing to win the final preliminary match against the USA's second team at St. Mary's Park in St. Kitts, the Bajans defeated their opponents by 93 runs using the DLS method. Sent into bat, Barbados scored 248 for 9 from their 50 overs, led by 79 from Zachary Carter and 51 from Joshua Dorn. Set a revised target of 247 after losing 1 over owing to rain. The young Americans were bowled out for 158 off 38 overs. RJ Gittins picked up 3 for 21, Carter 2 for 13. Look at the highlights.
And Carter is flicking this one over mid-wicket, and it's going to run to the boundary for 4. And he's hitting this one straight. His Carter, that is a huge 6. It lands on the roof of the pavilion.
You not have seen before.
It goes long and hard and high and handsome and all the way. No, this is
same tail again.
Swept. I swept well. That's his 50.
Yeah.
Basso continues. His leg spin slapped to the outside. This time he picks the gap. We'll get 4. St. Hill. A big shot in the air should be taken. He's out.
This time he didn't middle it, so it bounced out. Here is one that goes long and hard and wide. He's caught.
Here is Jindal. He's bowled. He scoops again. And he's given out. Then he goes into his strike and pulls hard this time. All the way out to Jindal, who takes the catch.
And he goes high up over an extra cover area and into the boundary for 4.
Again, he tries the reverse sweep. And Jeremy is giving him.
He's out stump. That's the end of the Barbados innings. 248. 248 for 9.
That's a look at news. We have more news here on TV8 coming up at 12 noon. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
enriching your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 minutes now after 7 o'clock, the Bible has defined the hierarchy of things. Who's at the top? And where does man fall? And what are the responsibilities of men when it comes to our society, and in particular, if we bring all the way down to our households? And why should we take seriously those responsibilities? We're talking about that now. We have with us Bishop Selwyn Brathwaite of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, because coming up on Saturday for 2 hours, we're going into the upper room for a reason. Good morning to you, Bishop Brathwaite.
Yes, good morning. It's good to be here again.
Thank you for joining us yet again.
Yes.
It's called Men Go Pray.
Yeah, Men Go Pray.
I like the Beijing today. Now we know how to spell Go. Men Go Pray. Yeah. And this is very, very serious.
Yes, it is.
And it's very important.
Yes.
And I set it up in the way I did for a reason, because I think oftentimes we move away from the hierarchy of God's structure for man. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of us recognizing that hierarchy and being obedient to that hierarchy.
Well, you see, the whole thing with that, why is it important? Because with the hierarchy, it means that we are subject to a higher power. So we are not here on our own mission. We are here to do His bidding. And I think, when we understand that, we know that we do have a purpose. And if we're going to live a life that is fulfilling, we have to connect to the one who gives us purpose. I do remember the last time I was here, you talked about the importance of the manufacturer's manual. Right? And so therefore, if we're going to connect with who we are, what we've been called to do, it's so important that we connect with the one who created us. So understanding that hierarchy is important. If we don't get that right, I mean, we can put ourselves in a place wandering in some spaces where we are confused because we don't have the right connection. So that is very, very important.
And we've also seen examples, I believe, in the Bible where big, important figures who've been noted over the time took time in their busy day to pray.
Definitely.
And we've become so commercial and so busy in the rat race of life, we've forgotten the value of prayer.
Yes.
And particularly as men, as leaders in our communities, leaders in our households, the value of prayer. And so you're saying to us on this Saturday coming, you want to bring us back to that reality. Men, you got to get on your knees and pray. Don't let the women alone be doing it.
Yes, definitely. And you see, that is so important, because then we've seen some men, person in society within the scriptures who makes a very valuable contribution to scripture, to the society. And they did that because they made connection with God.
Yes.
And we have men like Daniel.
Boy, that's my boy. Sorry, Lord, forgive me.
That's
3 times a day.
3 times a day, even under pressure.
Even under pressure.
And it is right in that environment that he heard from God. He got information that was able to change the structure of society because he took the time to pray. Very, very critical. And again, because of what is happening now today in our society, we need men, again, to take up that responsibility to engage in what we call real, constant, intercessory prayer for our nation.
Then there was a guy, Nehemiah.
Oh, yes.
The disaster of the gates.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But he took time to pray first. He spoke to the Father first. And then we saw the rebuilding.
Yes.
And so for our communities to rebuild, to get right again, men, we have to go to the source.
Yes.
We have to pray.
Yes.
And the way to communicate with that source is through prayer. And that's the whole thing. But oftentimes we tend to think, our Father who art in heaven, and that's enough.
Yes.
Is that enough?
No, it's not. It's not enough. And you see, it's really about building relationship. Now, and as you mentioned, those guys there, in response to prayer, they had to go back into their society to fix something.
Yes.
Right? And as men, we've been called to fix stuff. And the way we're able to fix it and to fix it correctly is to connect with the one who created us. And when we connect with him, we are then able to go back into our society to add value to our society, to create something, to produce something, so that according to the Lord's Prayer, his will is done in the earth as it is in heaven. How do we do that? Is when we go and we get instructions from the one who is the ruler.
Men, are you tired of people saying, it's the man's fault, if fathers would, all of those? Aren't you tired of that? This is an opportunity on Saturday for you to just shake off that fatigue now and to do something about it by coming back to, as the bishop just said, doing the right thing. Go and connect with the manufacturer, the maker of, the creator of, so that you can begin to come back and fix things. And so what's happening on Saturday?
On Saturday, we're going to be having this session, as you said, Men Go Pray.
Yeah.
And we coined that there deliberately, because very often we find in our Christian faith, we are afraid to connect with our own colloquial language.
Yes.
So when we say Men Go Pray, I mean, that is something that any Bajan man can connect with.
And you get it.
Right? And you get it, you get it instantly.
Yes.
So, I mean, we could have said, well, we're going to have a prayer meeting, but that doesn't connect. Right? But when we say Men Go Pray, is that sense of urgency, is a sense of I'm adding value, I'm a part of the process. So on Saturday evening, we're going to be connecting at the Sky Mall Conference Center for 2 hours, where one, we want to connect with God. And then two, we believe that God is going to connect with us. And then the favorite of mine is that we're going to get to connect with each other. And so often, Pearson, we are crying out for spaces where we can connect with each other. And, very often men feel they have to connect, in terms of their strength, but also have to connect in terms of our struggle. Right? And I think when we do that, we're going to realize that all of us have common things that we have to go through. And very often we separate ourselves. We think about, okay, I don't want to do this because I don't want to share this because maybe it's just my own individual thing. But when we get together, we realize, hey, we have similar struggles. And then when we get that, it builds that sense of commonality and camaraderie, and then we go there knowing, hey, we have someone who understands where we're at. So those are the three things we want to accomplish, on Saturday.
Connecting with God connecting with us, and we connecting with each other.
Definitely.
Building that community of strength.
Yes.
There's some who are watching and say, I understand you, Bishop, but I can't pray. Okay. That's okay, isn't it?
Definitely okay. And again, personally, I guess it's because we have this thing in our mind what prayer is all about. But it's really about communicating. And one of the things about it is we've had men who prayed out of a place of frustration, right? And we have this guy, Gideon. He's frustrated with what's happening. God, what's going on here?
Correct. Yes.
And I think we have to understand as men that God is not afraid of us expressing our emotions. I'm tired of the injustice. I'm tired of the frustration. What is going on here, God? And when we do that, that is a way how we also are praying. And God is not threatened by that. He's not upset by that. As a matter of fact, right there is how he meets us right in that space of frustration and adds value to our purpose.
You are so right. Because oftentimes, we start letters with dear whatever, and we end yours respectfully. God isn't interested in that structure.
No.
Just as you are.
Yes, definitely.
Just as you are, in your pain, in your frustration, in your despair. Just simply say, I need help.
Yes, that's it.
Be open and honest enough to say, I need help.
That's it.
And his spirit reaches you.
Definitely.
And that's the whole purpose here. So the coming together in that way is through that honest, open connection with God, He connects with you and we connect one with the other. There are men there to support you.
Definitely.
The conference room, I deliberately phrase it as in the upper room. Yes. Because it's upstairs.
It is upstairs.
Because I'm hearing people say, but Sky, where the conference room
yes,
is?
It's upstairs. It's upstairs. In the upper room.
So you'll be going upstairs.
Definitely so.
From 6 in the evening.
Yes.
And you can accommodate quite a number.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
Quite a number.
Sure,
so don't feel it's a little tiny little conference room where there's a boardroom table. There's space for you.
Yes.
And even if there's an overflow, that's okay. God hears you.
Definitely.
Where you are.
Definitely.
So let's spend 2 hours on Saturday afternoon, evening, in Sky Mall, in the upper room, in the conference room. Look at your screen, look at your screen, look at your screen. And of course, if you need a little further clarity, you can call the numbers on your screen as well. Easy, 231-5000, 231-5000. Or send an email if you're somewhere at selwynbrathwaite.sb@gmail. And you get more information because men go pray.
Men go pray.
Men take this seriously. Folks, men, let me take this seriously for real. Don't run from your responsibility because God will find you. You better believe it. Look at Jonah. You can talk when you want.
Definitely.
I will find you.
Definitely.
I'm going to pluck you up because I have things for you to do. And so don't run from it. Perhaps now is the time to take it a whole lot more seriously. And don't feel threatened that you are not as good as the next. God doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to Him. He just wants your honest self, even in your weakness and your frailty, to talk to Him, to just talk to Him. Wouldn't you want to have a conversation with your son? Fathers, I'm speaking to you directly now. God feels the same way. You want your son to come and tell you what's going on.
What's going on?
God says the same thing. Come and tell me what's going on.
Yes.
Let me see if I can help you.
Yes.
And God will say, I can help you. I can help you. I hope that brings assurance to you today to want to take this opportunity up and take it very, very seriously indeed. You do not have to be a professional prayer. You do not have to be one who is at a church. You just say, I want change. Come. Men go pray. So in the upper room, the conference room at Sky Mall this Saturday from 6 until 8 o'clock. Let's meet, let's gather, let's close the door. Let's together commune with God, He with us, and we with each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
Did I miss anything? Did we miss anything you want to say?
No, I just want to say it's open to all men, all Bajan men. Come, because we go pray. Right? And when we leave, we go continue praying.
Correct.
Right? So that's what it is. So I want to encourage all of the men to come out there and let's do this and let's connect with each other. I think fundamentally it's one thing to connect with God and to hear God, but it's another thing when men connect with each other. And I think that is very critical. Because very often we say the girls come together and they get together and they have fun and they share their weaknesses, they share everything, and they go back into the world full of power. We need to connect, share our flaws, share our failures, but also then share our validation of God's purpose for our lives. So it is critical and important for us to come together as men, because you know what? Men go pray.
Well said, well done. I can't add anything else. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world.
All right, we're 28 minutes now after 7 o'clock. Before I forgot, Patricia is celebrating her birthday today. She's the mother of Candy Nichols. And so to you, Patricia, good morning. Happy birthday to you indeed. And let me say also good morning to my good friend Norma Hunt, who's watching from Canada. Good morning to you, Norms. You and Lennox and the family in there have yourselves a wonderful today. Let's head back now to California. This man lives in one of the most beautiful spots in the western part of United States of America. He has faced fires, he has stared it down, and he's defeated his face or his brow is going like, huh? But Scott Bailey is his name. It's good to catch up with him. Scott, good morning to you.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. A little sleepy.
Yeah, what time is it there now?
4:29 in the morning.
That's good, man. You're a realtor, so you know about waking up early at times on calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time we connected, we were talking about the California fires and the devastation and so on and so forth. And so just to catch up with you now, bring us up to date. Where are we now?
That actually happened down south of California a little bit. I'm a little up north, which we also get them up here too fairly bad. Like I've been through a few. But everything people seem to be, rebuilding and getting things going as usual. But, we're in midsummer again. So we're back into that season again where everything gets really, really dry and people have to be really, really careful. And like I said, it doesn't take much. We've had a few little small ones up here already. And as we get closer to the end of summer, where it gets really dry, then, everybody's just kind of waiting and hoping that nobody does something to cause a fire or nothing naturally happens to cause a fire.
You could have said stupid. That's all right. We say that in Barbados.
Yeah.
I heard it there on the lips coming.
They got some people just, they don't think, you don't want to go and, decide that you're going to weld your cattle fence in the middle of summer with a welder, without having any water nearby or anything like that. It takes one little spark, and you can have devastation within minutes,
Indeed. Where do you live exactly? The Sierra Mountains area?
Yeah, I'm in the Sierra Mountains, so I'm pretty much east of Stockton. Just a little bit like northeast of Sacramento. So we're up in the Sierra Mountains. I'm probably about an hour away from the famous Yosemite Park. Everybody knows Yosemite, one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's a really lovely place to be. A little quieter, a little longer to go and get the things you need and stuff like that. But it's a really nice sought after area for holiday cabins, etc., etc.
And when I read up a little bit about it, I'm told that you live in one of those spaces with stunning landscapes, diverse ecosystems, and recreational opportunities. That describes where you live?
Yeah. Everything that you think that you say right there, the rivers,
wow,
the hiking, biking, snowboarding, skiing, a lot of people, come out here to do those kind of things where you could kind of just really be in the middle of nowhere. When you think of Yosemite, you go there for, it takes about an hour and a half from my house to cruise on over there, and you go walking through. You really feel like you're in like God's land, you know what I mean? It's just It's just I've never experienced anything like that. Like you say in Barbados, Barbados is very beautiful, but up here is vast beauty. It's just hundreds and hundreds of miles, and especially when you go up to the top of the mountain in winter and you stand up at the top of a mountain like that, you look and you turn and look 360. It's like almost another world.
Wow. But you are finding yourself you're a realtor, basically. And in a space as vast as that, finding your business, so to speak, so that you stay, above water, how difficult or easy has that been?
It's actually, like I say, a lot of people, especially from the Bay Area, a lot of people, Google workers, Apple, those kind of companies, stuff like that are right down there in the Bay Area. A lot of them have holiday cabins up here. And if you drive up the highway, you don't really think about it until you turn off the highway. And if you turn off the highway a little bit into the trees, next thing you know, you're in a neighborhood that has 1,000 cabins right there. And there's a weekend time, and you stand up here and you look at the highway, you see tons of cars coming up here because they all want to come out here and get away and just really like sit down in nature and kind of regroup themselves when they're not at work, So it is actually, very, very busy up here, especially on a weekend if you're doing open houses and stuff like that. But the business actually flows very well up here. Because, people that will have a holiday cabin, people that own it for 3-4 years, and then they go, I don't want that anymore, and then another person comes up and goes, I want that place, and it you'll sell the same house 3 times in 5 years,
Wow. I mean, that's really, it's really good for business. But getting to you, Scott, takes forever. Us Bajans, we want to land and get off, not to land, hop onto something else and go again. It takes a minute, but I mean, from Sacramento Airport is about an hour and 35-40 minutes, so that's not, I know it sounds long because Barbados is so small, but ever since I've lived up here, I realized that an hour and 45 minutes is kind of like a 25-minute drive. You don't even think about it, it just kind of happens. The roads are bigger, so you just kind of cruise, if you up here, anything less than, everything is 45 minutes away. As soon as you leave home, even if it's whatever it is, it's going to take me about 45 minutes. So that's just, you kind of get accustomed to it. But, a lot of Caribbean people and stuff come up here too, Right. How long did it take you to recalibrate your own mind? Because, as you said, in Barbados, we get there in tutus, as we say. But, you had to now adjust your thinking that you're going greater distances. Did it annoy you at first to think that I came from a little space where I could run into a supermarket in 5 minutes to suddenly having to travel great distances?
At first I was like, geez, are we there yet? You kind of... But California is, like I say, it's such a massive place, it's just something that once you start driving a little more, you kind of realize, okay, this is how it's going to be. And your mind just kind of really adjusts to it because it's something that, if you want to go to Walmart, that's 45-50 minutes away. If you want to go to Costco and shop and get food and all that, that's almost an hour away, So you just kind of, you get accustomed to it. But up here, there's no traffic ever.
Yes.
Right? I have not seen traffic like Bajan traffic since I've lived up here. You know what I mean? Every time I go and drive anywhere, I'm not sitting in a line at anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with all the tourists come up, you might get a little bit at the 2 traffic lights that we have in this whole county. So, and so that, that you get that, if I decide to go to Walmart or whatever, and I go over to another town called Sonora, the drive there is breathtaking. Right. So you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's like something off a movie when you're driving there. So you're just like, play a little music, play a little calypso, a little reggae, a little rock, whatever you like, and you just cruise on over.
So it makes it worth it. It makes it worth it. I get you.
Yeah.
But when we think of California, we also think of the great big actors or the aspiring people who want to get into show business. Right. Have you encountered any? Have you been a part of that?
No. I have not actually encountered any. I don't think I have. Where I live though was very popular for a long time with the famous comedian Robin Williams.
Yes.
And his brother, they used to come up here a lot. There are quite a few. A little further down the coast here, Clint Eastwood, you know, he lives on the coast there. He used to be the mayor of where he lives. You know, they're around. Actually, my really good friend met Keanu Reeves last weekend, which was nice. He enjoyed that. They went down to, he has his own bike racing team and stuff like that. And his they all went down to races at Laguna Seca, which is a very famous motorcycle track, you know. So I mean, they're around, but I unfortunately haven't met anybody, just working all the time. But you know, some like, you know, these guys are around and they like it, you know, they can do their own thing, especially a guy like Keanu. He's a very quiet fellow, you know what I mean? And he likes his racing, so he has his team, and he was my friend said he was quite happy to talk to people, and you know, but Robin Williams loved up here when he was alive, you know, because we're not too far from San Francisco.
Right.
So, and that's where he resided, you know. So, but they're around, but you will get more. I think I've met more people from the business side, you know, the bigger corporations and stuff. Like a lot of heavy hitters, they'll come around and you'll see them or chat with them, you know, and stuff like that. More in that industry, but yeah, the actors are up here, but most of them are in LA. So LA is probably about an 8.5 hour drive from me. 9. And I've done it once. So I try not to do that one too often.
And that for us is a trip to UK. And so talk to me a little bit, because we get rain here. I'm hearing the rain at the moment outside here on our roof. Right now, I'm seeing on the news there's a heat wave across the United States. Pretty much most of the states have experienced a heat wave. How hot does it really get for you?
Here are when it gets, first of all, like summertime now, I will not see rain until like November. Not a drop.
Whoa.
So everything gets brown. You know, and we'll get up into the hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit. So that's in the 40s, I guess, Celsius. And there'll be no breeze. There's no ocean breeze. There's no nothing to make you feel any better. It is direct, dry heat.
Wow.
But, you know, like everything else, like, because we have these seasons here, you know, you get heat wave, then it get a little break. Then you get another one, then you get a break. Then you get another one. And as time it intensifies, as you start to get towards like August and stuff, and then it starts to ease off until you get to fall. So right when you're over it, it eases off.
Wow, I get you.
But we have a nice cool weekend coming this weekend, so I'm very excited for that.
That's great.
Very
I'm
excited.
happy for you as well.
Yeah, we're gonna go and do some camping. It's my lady's birthday. We're gonna take our son. We have a 1.5-year-old, and we're going to all go up to the top of the mountain where it's nice and cool. Where I call it God's lake, because when you go up there, you can't, it's unbelievable that, you know, He has created such beautiful things, you know, it is just breathtaking up there. So we're going to go up there with a couple of friends for a couple of days and just sit down by the water and relax, you know.
When you look at the life you live now and you compare it with the life you've left in Barbados, what do you see to be the benefits of what you experience at the moment?
I think the benefits of it, that's a tough question. I don't know the benefits. I think it's kind of just a little different, maybe more in terms of the scenery, but you know, every lifestyle on this planet has, you know, its pros and cons and stuff, but it is nice, I think, to be somewhere that's this quiet, you know, and to kind of have the space to not, I want to say disappear, but disappear, you know. But I miss Barbados a lot, you know, and there are a lot of things about the culture that nothing else in this world can replace about the Caribbean, you know. It's just, you know, so it's a give and take. It's a give and take, really and truly, you know.
We are at the moment in a soca state of mind. You know, soca is in our earpiece all the time. What is it for you at the moment?
In my ear, I'll be listening to soca music. I try to listen. Yeah, we try to listen to everything that's coming out every year. You know what I mean? I just, you know, I play a lot of different things, especially my son has not been to the Caribbean yet, you know. So, you know, we try to open his mind and play a lot of different things. He loves music. As soon as he hears the beat, he starts to bob his head and dance. You know what I mean? It's something that he loves. But I actually grew up in a musical family where my father played there in the hotel circuit in Barbados, and I did as well for a little while before I moved here. So we've always been just infused with all types of music. So now, I try to pass the same thing on to my son, and we listen to a lot of calypso, a lot of reggae, to just kind of keep it going, But all the new stuff as it's come out, we try to listen to it between Barbados, Trinidad, everybody. We always listening to it, playing it. My girlfriend loves it, So
nice.
It's in my ear. I always paying attention to what's going on.
Well, that's
always.
Good. So what's the big one for you that has been released in Barbados for crop over this year?
I have not gotten a big one yet. I listened to it. I just put on top soca songs for 2025, and I listen, but I ain't really catch a name yet. That's something I gotta do a little more research on right now, because I just been pressing play and like, oh, this one sound good, this one sound good. I get all the. I see Lil Rick had everybody dancing there the other day. You know what I mean? But I also like to get real nostalgic and go back in time.
Okay,
right? I'm a big back in time guy. You know what I mean? I like my old, like Crossfire and Rupee and that kind of stuff, Rasaili and all that. I love to go back to the 90s and stuff like that. Because especially missing home a lot, I really like to go back to that. I used to bartend Boatyard when it was Rupee and Adrian Clark and those guys in there with Coalition and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm really at, because I put out so much music. I can't always catch the name of everybody, but I just try to listen. I go, oh, this one sound good. We can see which one gonna be, the Royal March, or which one gonna be, which one gonna sound real sweet.
Yeah, boy, to be a Bajan over there indeed. But Scott, it's always good catching up with you. I wish you well.
Sir.
Keep safe. Bring the little son to Barbados soon. Let him experience and soak up our culture too, as soon as you possibly can. But enjoy your weekend up in the cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my brother. Take care.
Pleasure, sir.
Likewise. Scott Bailey from California right there indeed, talking with us this morning again. Not losing his identity, not losing his connection with where he's from, and feeling it and sharing it with the people where he is. We're taking a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. I just love being with this lady, Onika Small, the curator of the Queen's Park Gallery. She is just so good. And I was teasing her, take a look at Onika Small. I was saying to her, I love your earrings. It is so different. Crochet?
Yes, they are. They're made by this lady, Sybil Fielder. She is one of our NIFCA 2024 awardees. She does beautiful crochet, and she does this beautiful crochet environment. Wow. But she also sells earrings, so she
wearable art.
We're all the time.
All the time.
All the
Every time that she comes, there's something else that I see. And so we're looking at ourselves, Inner Visions, because there is, the gallery's open now with this exhibition, Inner Visions. And it's been going for a little bit, but it ends soon.
It ends August 9th.
Right, and we don't want people to miss this opportunity.
No, we do not. It's a really great show. So we've had, the first installation was Inner Visions Self-Reflections, and this one is Inner Visions Diasporic Connections. So we have, again, a mix of genres. So we have painting, photography, craft, all kinds of stuff for people to come and see and to be inspired by.
You know, I counted every one of them. There's a list of there are 43 people who are exhibiting,
Yes.
and you're right, in mixed media. It's so many different types of media.
So many different. It's really amazing. I think we have over 60 pieces.
Mhm.
So when you come into the gallery, there's something there that will resonate with everybody. So people come and they like the paintings.
Right.
Some come and they like the little interactive stuff. We have sculptures, everything.
What is it? I mean, it, for me, is a chance for me to look inside. Look inside myself and to feel, not just see, but to feel what I see.
Correct. And for this one, we also wanted people, as they were looking inward, to think about how we're reflected within the wider diaspora. So we actually have some photography by Lyle Warner, which was taken in the Tube in the USA, so in New York. But we also have pictures of people on the bus in Barbados. So the whole idea of transport and the connections, and you could tell when they're, you don't necessarily have the conversations with the people in the subway, but you could tell that they're from the Caribbean, right? And how we've moved to different places and how we connect.
There's such an energy about us in the region, eh?
Yes.
And how we're able to take our art to showcase that diversity, but that energy.
Correct.
And so that's the kind of conversation that you'll experience with yourself when you watch and see the pieces are there in the gallery. And I'm so happy that it's been running for so long. And I know that there are many people, because we've just been sharing with folks here on the screen, the images of people coming through and having that conversation with self.
Yeah, we were really blessed that the ceremonial delivery, the last games
Was
were
held right there.
in Queen's Park.
I saw.
So that day we had 227 people pass through the gallery.
Wow.
Which is always a blessing. It's amazing because they didn't just come to use the bathroom.
Yes.
They came and they looked at the art and they interacted with the artists that were there. So it was really a blessing, because that's one of the things that we don't see or we don't believe is as prevalent, is that people actually come into art galleries. It's more prevalent now than it's ever been.
Before. That's right.
And they're enjoying the art and they're interfacing with it. Before it may have seen as something maybe a little aloof, but now everybody comes in the gallery.
Any and everyone can come to the gallery, the Queen's Park Gallery we're talking about. And so the exhibition is on. It goes until the 9th of August.
Correct.
And what times of the day can we come
Okay,
through?
so we are open from 10 to 6.
10 to 6,
Yes.
right.
No
8
lunch
hours.
breaks, 8 hours.
Right.
Correct.
Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday.
Every single Monday through Saturday?
Not on bank holidays.
Just checking.
but we're there every day.
I mean, it is the Central Bank of Barbados Cropover Visual Arts Exhibition.
Yes.
But it's not exhibiting Cropover-esque things alone.
Not alone. I think we do it at this time because art is part of the festival. But it is really about the vision of all these different artists, and some of them are crop-over-esque. Like they have pictures of celebration, jubilation, but there also are some that are very much about maybe some of the traumas that we're experiencing as people, because we want to exhibit it all. We're not just one thing. There's a song I listened to recently, and we're roses, so we have thorn and we have beauty. And it's like in the previous conversation, we should be able to explore all of that and come to terms with that.
Indeed. And so we're looking at through the eyes of the lens of the diaspora now. We're talking about the diaspora's experience. Bajans here, Bajans there.
Correct.
People here, people there. The differences, but the similarities in those experiences.
Correct.
And while I haven't yet seen the exhibition, Father, forgive me, I can just sense what it's about. And so if you just want to have, you just have a slight sense of what it's about and you want to see more, you have to go, folks. 10 till 6 in the evening each day, Monday through Saturday, in the Queen's Park Gallery. Nobody is going to tell you no. You can come in. Is it free?
It's free.
It's free.
I find it's very strange. Like a lot of people come to the door and they ask if they have to pay.
Yeah.
But it's free.
Because it's so beautiful.
Well, I guess people are used to paying for certain things, but we're free. We're there for the public. It's a public service. I remember one time this lady, she just came in. She was having a traumatic situation, and her friend brought her to the gallery to look at art. So there's some things that can help soothe the soul.
Wow, soothing the soul. And then there's the open, help me with the term.
Okay, so for Carifesta, we're
for
also
Carifesta,
doing an Open Studios program. So there are a couple of things that we're working on, but we've just closed the call for the Open Studios program, and we have about 25 or so studios that will be on board for Carifesta, because our vision is to have, as usual, art all over Barbados.
Yes.
So with the Open Studios, people can go and visit actual studios, interact with artists, and we'll also be having some curated tours.
Of course, we'll get to know where those are.
Yes, as we get closer, you'll get that information, so you get the flyers, because with everything there's a process.
Yeah.
So we're now just like crossing our T's and dotting our I's and ensuring that we have everybody on board, and then our marketing will go out.
Wow, can you imagine that you're sitting in Onika Small's kitchen, because that's her workspace, and you're engaging with her art, engaging with her, and we move from place to place. We make it a tour.
It's a
really
tour.
make it quite a tour. Spend time during CariFesta to move around. And CariFesta is the 22nd of August to the 31st. So you have a number of days over which you can use that opportunity to really explore art in its original space.
Yeah, that's the best, with the artists, see where they work, what they're doing, how they're pulling things together. So it's really very exciting. There's a lot to do during CariFesta, so you got to make sure that you put the art on your on your calendar.
Add that to your list of things to do.
Exactly.
And you're right, there's so much going on with this dance, fashion, theater performances,
music, like our regional artists, but also international people coming in. I just love CariFesta.
It really is a beautiful vibe.
Yeah.
Really good vibe. And that's where the eyes turn on us. And so
Correct.
we want to showcase the very best. And you can be a part of the very best, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, there is at Queen's Park Gallery right now a visual arts exhibition showcasing the work of 43 different dynamic creators indeed. And so you can come in there for free from 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening, Monday through Saturday, and engage with names like Aaron Trotman, Alanis Ford, Alex Greenwich, Alison Chapman Andrews, ending with 12 to 7. Am I reading it right? Sorry.
Sorry. And I yes. There's a cadre of younger artists whose names are challenged, but they are well understood by their contemporaries.
And so that just goes to show the vastness of the range of
correct.
work.
So we have, as you said, Alison Chapman Andrews, so two of her last pieces she would have worked on, and then we have these younger artists with names that we can't really pronounce.
So come have fun. Come have fun with art. Have fun with art. There's a lot of fun in art. And while you're there, just look at yourself, look inside and see who you are. Look inside and see who other people are. Get a sense of our place within the diaspora and find your root. Find your root. Build on your strength. Stand tall and engage with the art. Indeed, Monday to Saturday in the Queen's Park Gallery from 10 until 6. And then when CariFesta comes around, art everywhere, all the open studios, and you will be told where they are, who will be holding you and hosting you indeed. And so it's an exciting time to be alive in Barbados. And so Onika, I thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the NCF for the great work that you're doing.
We are working very hard.
Indeed, they are. We're taking a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I have a little time to talk to you folks, a little time for you to talk back to me as well. Time for me to give you a riddle. I want you to call me right now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Quick. Why do bees have sticky hair? Why do bees have sticky hair? Why do you think that is? Really, really, really think about it and be logical, because exactly what you think is what it is. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Why do bees have sticky hair? Why do bees have sticky hair? Think about it. Think about it. Think of some of those words that you could actually use when you're thinking of bees. Why do bees have sticky hair? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Got you good and good. 228-5562 or 63. Call me now. Why do bees have sticky hair? What happened there? Why do bees have sticky hair? Do you know? I'm only give you another minute and a half to call here. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Why do bees have sticky hair? I heard some rain earlier, so just be careful. You know, there's rain about. We're expecting a few wet days over the next few days indeed, but nothing for you to be afraid of, but to be cautious wherever you are. So, why do bees have sticky hair? Do you know? 228-5562 or 228-5563. It is not that hard, trust me. Think of it logically, think outside the box, and you will find your answer. Why do bees have sticky hair? What happens to your hair? What do you do with your hair? Think of the process, and I think you might get a little bit closer to the answer. Why do bees have sticky hair? You know the answer, you know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you don't get it right today, I am not letting it rest. You have to get it right. You all know me now. I shall not let it rest until you can correctly answer me with a question. Why do bees have sticky hair? Ugh, sticky hair. Why is that? Why do bees have sticky hair? Seems as if none of you knows, and that's all right. This one I shall hold until you and I have another moment to engage. So figure it out and get ready to call me when I give you another opportunity. But that is it for today. I want to thank you. My little crew joins me wishing all of you a... Oh, we got somebody. All right. Good morning. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Eve.
Hi. Oh, Eve, you're the first woman.
Yes, I am.
Have you met your Adam yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, so where's your Adam now?
Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
At home.
Where are you, Eve? In the garden?
No, I'm at work.
You're at work. Okay, Eve, no problem. What's your answer, Eve?
It helps to collect and transport the pollen.
That's your answer?
Yes, please.
No, Eve, that's not the answer.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
Go and have an apple.
That's sad. Thank you.
Have an apple. Take care. All right, Eve. That's not right. And so with that, that's it. Little crew joins me. Wish you a wonderful today. If it be the will of the Lord, we'll see you when? Tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning.